Alrighty, what is going on, you guys? It's your boy White Album here, and welcome back to another Witch on the Holy Night episode. Last time we left off, no easy way of putting this, but Aoko got she got messed up. She got messed up pretty well. Apparently that ass beating was so bad that they did not even show it. It was so bad that the boy Sojo took one look and he puked and fainted. But we're gonna find out what the girls are gonna do now that Toko pretty much is, set in stone to completing her task. Let's keep going, shall we? Let's keep going.
So,
That's cool. I'm using OBS anyways. All right. Quick load. Yes.
何よ。そんなにおかしい、アリス。
All right. Alice, what's so funny?
さあ、どうかしらね。けど、しずきくんにも言い分はあるでしょう。今のあなた、とても見られたものじゃないわ。
Oh, nothing. Suzuki had his reasons, I'm sure. You were in a bad state, Aoko. Aoko appraised her physical state. She was dressed in a hospital gown. Bandages covered the majority of her body. Her right leg was in a plaster cast. Since she could move her right arm, she brought her bandaged fingers up to her throat.
そっか。思い出した。あのガキ、まず私の首元に噛みついたんだっけ。
Oh yeah, I remember now. That little shit bit my neck.
すごかったわよ。首が噛み砕かれるのって。ゴキーンって音が頭の中に響いて、気持ち悪いったらなかったわ。
It was crazy. Being torn to pieces like that? I even heard my neck snapping. Gross doesn't even do the feeling justice.
ち、あそこから好き勝手やられたもんだから、つい忘れてた。
Damn it. He played me like some kind of chew toy. I almost wish I could forget. She's like, I can't play like a damn fiddle. Aoko sounded upbeat, but the look in her eyes was anything but. She had been torn to pieces, but her life had been mercifully spared. At least she had been dismembered. Damn, she got fucked up that bad. How the hell you have your neck snapped but not have any of your limbs torn off? What? Okay. She had been bitten, beaten, and her bones and her bones broken. Magic crest containing the Ozaki secret arts decorated her body. Even if her spine was broken, as long as her body was alive, the crest would piece it back together. Despite the crest easing the pain a little, she still hurt enough to want to kill that wolf 100 times over.
視点は全部壊された。これで三崎市の霊脈はフリーってわけね。
If all the sigils have been broken, Misaki's ley lines are wide open.
全容を把握してるのはうちらだけの特権だったけど、東子は昔から知ってる以上、解析の手間もいらないと。
We thought we had the edge of having the big picture of the area, but if Toko's known for a while, then she's a step ahead of us.
真剣な話、所有権の書き換えまで何時間かかると思う？
Let's be real here. How long do you think it'll take for her to transfer Dominion rights?
東子さんなら、2日かからないでしょうね。
For Toko, it won't even take her 2 days.
視点の修復は土地そのものに任せるしかない。
She has no choice but to wait for the land itself to restore the sigils.
視点のプロテクトが治る頃には、この町はもう彼女のものよ。
By the time the defenders are in working order again, this town will be as good as hers.
明日の夜明けとともに破産する我が身とはね。
So come tomorrow morning. I lose everything, huh?
それで、アリスの方はどうなの？まだいける？
What about you, Alice? Any fight left in you?
思考魔術だけなら、少しは。
I can manage a little bit of mental magecraft.
あとは、小道具に頼ることになるでしょうね。
After that, I'd be relying on trinkets. Use a gun on her, bro. That'll probably catch her off guard. I'm not even joking. She'd be like, huh, you got trapped within my 4 million shotting gun. Next thing you know, there's a fucking bullet hole in the middle of her sternum. Like, what? That'll throw her off.
ああ、お話にならないか。
Huh, that won't cut it. Aoko went silent again, staring straight at the ceiling. Aoko knew all too well what that look meant.
それでもやるんでしょ青子は。
You're still planning on fighting, aren't you, Aoko?
まあね。私、諦めるのってできないから。
Can you blame me? It's not like I can give up. Okay, I gotta say something here. It's Aoko, not Aoko or Aoko, as some people would say. It's Ao. I
で、
gotta correct myself there.
そういうアリスはどうなのよ。
What about you?
私は一度自分のものになったものは決して人には渡さない。
Once something is mine, it stays mine. Aoko muttered in agreement to Alice's terse response. Alice's intense attachment to her possessions were enough to make even Aoko shiver. I did it again. I said Aoko. Once something is mine, it stays mine. To take it a step further, betrayal was an unforgivable sin. This personal motto was further proof of her uncompromising nature.
オッケー、決まりね。じゃあ、悪いけどもう少し休ませて。今晩までにはなんとか動けるようにするから。
Okay, then that settles then. I'm gonna get some rest. Come hell or high water, I'll be ready by tonight. If the nun who stitched her back together had heard that, she would have fainted. Aoko could barely even eat in her current condition. Even so, Alice nodded and stood up. As Aoko's partner, she knew that once her mind was made up, she had to trust her. Silently, the girl in black began to take her leave. She stopped in front of the door, her mouth to her hand.
アリス？
Alice? Aoko was curious, suspecting that Alice had something silly to say again. Quite the contrary. Instead of blushing, Alice furrowed her brow, like she was thinking over a difficult riddle.
アリスー？
Alice? Hello? Aoko called out, but Alice remained with her back to her roommate.
なんで間に合ったのかしら。
How did he make it to me in time? She spoke as if the words had accidentally burst from her thoughts. Alice's question was about something Aoko, I said it again, Aoko could not possibly have guessed.
あの時もそう。
It happened before too,
私たち始発で帰ってきたのに。
even though we took the first train back. She carried on mumbling at the door. Unable to find an answer, Alice gloomily put her hand on the doorknob. Okay, I'm assuming she's talking about Sojiro finding her in the park? In the phone booth?
言いたくないなら別にいいけど。
If you don't want to say it, it's fine.
何がどうしたっていうのよ、アリス。
But if you do, then spit it out already. Alice did not respond. She opened the door to leave the room and left a few words hanging in the air.
どうでもいいことだけど、
It might be nothing.
ゆいかさんにはしずきくんは見えなかったそうよ。青子。
By the way, Yuka said she couldn't see Suzuki. What the fuck does that mean? She couldn't see him. Well, I mean, to be fair, if she's talking about when he burst into the room while she was performing surgery on Aoko, that would make sense. Her back was probably facing toward him. I mean, unless there's still something about Sojiro we still don't know about. You know? Goddamn. The door closed with a thud.
ふーん、そりゃまた珍しい。
Huh. That doesn't happen every day. Aoko mumbled to herself from her bed, seemingly slightly happier, or seeming. Blind since birth, Yuka saw the world through her other senses. Wait, what? Okay, so because we see her in the side story, but you're telling me she's blind? Crazy. She was especially sensitive to enemies, or those who bore ill will, and typically viewed almost everyone as a threat, presumably because that was the easiest thing to pick up on. So when she said that she couldn't see Sojo, that meant he was completely harmless. I mean, he's just a fucking normal dude. Come on now. We've gone through this already. And then, that harmless individual decided to pay the small sick room a visit. Sojo looked like a stiff breeze could knock him over. It made Aoko wonder if the real patient, who the real patient was.
何しに来たのあんた。
What do you want? Looks at her. You got fucked up. Though Aoko could barely move, she was still able to give him the cold shoulder. Okay, see, she is in no position to move. If I was him, I would just poke her right there in the fucking neck, just to be an asshole to her. That's just me. I know that sounds like a complete dick move, but let's be honest here. You guys already know my feelings towards Aoko throughout this playthrough. His expression gone, Sojiro grunted something or other before beginning to speak more coherently.
アリスが客間で眠ったから礼拝堂にいたんだけど、人が集まりだしたんで、こっちに逃げてきた。
Alice was sleeping in the guest room, and I was in the chapel. People started coming in, so I came here.
あ、礼拝の時間か。クリスマスだってのによくやるわ。
Ah, it must be time to worship. It is Christmas today. It was indeed Christmas, but regular Mass was on Christmas Eve. The ones gathering in the chapel must have been truly devout followers. Tourists were rare in Misaki after all. So much so that almost no one visited the area in this time of year. The worshippers must have been locals.
それで別にどうってことないでしょ。探せば顔見知りもいるんじゃない？
So, why do you care? There might be someone there, you know. Aoko was as distant as ever. She had clearly not forgotten the fact that he vomited when he saw her, and a hint of spite leaked into her voice. Then again,
いや、ちょうどいい機会だから、いろいろと聞きたくなって。
it's not that. I just thought it might be a good chance to ask you some things.
少し話をしていいかな。
Can we talk for a bit? Since Aoko was always in a bad mood, Sojiro did not pick up on anything out of the ordinary. She wanted to tell him to go drink some water, because he looked ready to collapse, but he didn't seem aware of his own condition. And to be fair to him, Alice did say Aoko was in bad shape. Given how unaccustomed to blood Sojiro was, it was no wonder he had fainted.
ああ、そうか。話なんてまだ無理だな。すまない。出直してくる。
Oh, of course. You're probably still too injured to talk. Sorry. I'll come back later. Sojiro seemed to have misunderstood Aoko being deep in thought, as if not having enough stamina to speak. Naturally, this did not sit well with Aoko.
待ちなさいよ。話だけなら別に構わないわ。やる気持て余してるし、暇つぶしがてらに相手してあげるわよ。
Hold it right there, mister. If you came to talk, I can talk just fine. I've been cooped up in here, so I could use the distraction.
ま、退屈しのぎにしてはちょっとグレード下がるけど、この際贅沢言ってられないし。
Okay, so you're not the best distraction. But beggars can be choosers. Sojiro sensed that this was going to be rough, but took a seat on the chair next to the bed.
で、何が聞きたいの？
So, what do you want to ask me? Aoko spoke energetically in an attempt to distract from her weakened appearance. Naturally, she knew she was fooling no one.
やっぱり青崎は強いな。安心した。
Man, you really are strong, Alzaki. I'm relieved to see that you're okay. Sojiro said, nodding in admiration. Aoko shot him an unimpressed look in response to the unwanted praise.
あんたってほんと間が悪いわ。
Man, honestly, you have the worst timing.
いいわよ、別に。
Nothing, just forget it.
私の夢の話だから、そっちが気に病むことは。
Just something from a dream. It's nothing to do with you. She glowered, remembering. Come to think of it, almost everyone in her dream was here in the church, turning her dour expression into an irritated one.
やめやめ、こんなつまんない話。聞きたいことがあるなら手っ取り早く済ませちゃってよ、宗十郎。
Enough about that. You said you had some questions, so out with them.
よかった。じゃあ、まず今の状況を聞かせてくれないか。
Alright. Can you tell me what's going on?
トウコさんの話じゃ、俺も無関係じゃないそうだし。
I mean with Toko, now that I'm involved in all. Sojiro spoke calmly, making Aoko wonder if he really understood the gravity of his situation. He was Toko's enemy now. He was defenseless and needed protection. Neither Aoko nor Alice could help him, and the church could withdraw their sanctuary at any moment. He had picked a side, and that turned him from innocent bystander into a target. The answer he sought was simple as that. He knew the facts. He was not a mage, and was therefore powerless.
まあ、それでもアリスは助けられたわけだし。
Well, I guess you did help Alice. Aoko did owe him for that. To say thanks, she had decided to at least give him the whole story up until now.
よし、今までの経緯も含めて軽く説明してみましょうか。
Okay, I'll quickly walk you through everything.
私も何か得るものがあるかもしれないし。
You know, maybe even I'll get something out of it. Aoko composed herself before beginning her explanation. The battle began at the end of November. A lot had happened since then, including meeting Sojiro. Well, meeting is a very, very loose term for that. I mean, if you're talking
事の
about
起こりは1ヶ
when
月
they
前、
first met.
三崎市に貼られた結界の端っこが何者かに消されたのが発端だった。私が跡継ぎになってから5度目の三崎市を狙う敵の登場ってわけ。
It all started a month ago, when the edge of the bounded field around Misaki City was taken down. The fifth time since I became successor, Misaki City was officially under attack.
今回の敵は私たちとは直接戦わず、まず土地を奪うところから始めたわ。今までのやつは私たちを半人前と舐めていたから、大抵は真正面から仕掛けてきて、勝手にアリスの猟犬の餌食になったんだけど、まあ、それはどうでもいいとして。
This time, instead of attacking us directly, the enemy started by taking the land. Everyone that had come before her had been a bunch of amateurs, all full of themselves, attacking us head on. They all ended up as kibble for Alice's watchdog.
町の結界には2種類あって、侵入者を見つけるものと、土地の力を有効利用するものがあるの。敵が壊したのは土地の結界の方で、これが全部壊されると、私やアリスは土地の所有権を失ってしまう。土地のないはぐれ魔術師と同じになっちゃうのよ。
Anyway, two types of bounded fields surrounded this area. One detects intruders, one siphons energy from the land. The enemy attacked the latter. If the entire field is destroyed, then Alice and I effectively lose our ownership of this land. Without land, we become no different than rogue mages.
もちろん、そうならないように侵入者をあぶり出すための結界があるんだけど、こっちには何の反応もなかった。ま、当然よね。今回の敵は私の姉貴、青崎東子その人だったんだから。
Of course, we had another field set up to detect intruders, but it didn't do what it was supposed to, and now we know why. The enemy was my sister, Toko Aozaki.
青崎の結界は同族である姉貴を敵とみなさなかった。あるいは姉貴は結界の抜け道、構造の資格をついたのかもしれない。もともとうちの後継者はあの人だし、それぐらいの知識はあったでしょう。
Aozaki bounded fields aren't going to recognize a fellow Aozaki as a threat. Well, there's your problem right there. Alternatively, she must have known about a blind spot and slipped in that way. As the original successor, it's only natural she'd have that knowledge to begin with.
そうして姉貴は私たちに見つかることなく好き勝手に結界の視点を壊し始めた。時間をかけてゆっくり壊していったのは 外からやってきた部外者を演じていたからでしょうね。さすがに連続して壊されれば、こっちも身内の犯行だと疑うし。うち、親戚である浅木家とは仲悪いままだしさ。
So, since she was invisible to us, she had free reign to break bounded field sigils. She deliberately attacked them slowly, one by one, to make us think it was an outsider. If she'd broken them all at once, I suspect it was one of my I suspect it was one of my relatives, such as someone from the Asagi family.
ま、姉貴の芝居に騙された私たちが間抜けなんだけど、セオリーとして結界崩しは長丁場になるものなの。管理地の結界は強固に作られているからね。普通は半年単位での攻防になる。
While we were stupid to fall for her little game, it's also possible it took her a long time to destroy the field. Our fields are made of strong stuff. They typically last for 6 months.
攻める側は、まず結界を形取る視点が何個あるか。それがどの5大要素でくくられているか。退去の正しい順序はどれか。それらを地道に解き明かしていく。もちろん、管理地の魔術師たちの目を盗みながら。
An enemy would have need to figure out how many sigils supported the field, what elements comprised them, and the correct order to take them down, all while making sure that the mage they belong to doesn't notice.
対して、守る側は侵入者がいることに気づくから、悪さをされる前に敵の拠点を見つけ出して外敵を排除する。こんな感じで結界崩しは長期戦、あるいは前哨戦になるものなの。大抵は攻める側が視点を壊すぞとアピールして、土地の持ち主を翻弄、疲弊させてから、魔術師同士の直接対決で決着がつくわ。
If we did notice, we'd locate the intruder's base and eliminate them before any damage could be done. So battlefields are either broken during a drawn out battle, or preemptively before it even starts. Usually, the enemy threatens to break the sigils to lure the landowner out. Then things are settled there and then with the duel between mages. Hopefully you can't hear my dog, but he is barking for probably no reason.
なんで、結界を全部壊す必要はないのよ。管理地の持ち主を始末した方が早いし、その後は術式さえ解読しちゃえば、土地を結界ごと横取りできる。わざわざ壊して作り直すより、昔からある結界の方が土地に馴染んでいて強力だしで、一石二鳥でしょ。
Doing that eliminates the need to completely destroy a field. It's much faster to take out the landowner, and as long as they can decipher the formula seize the fields and land afterward. If you don't destroy the fields, you don't have to remake them. Besides, ones that have been in the land for years are stronger. That was how Alice and Aoko were duped. They never thought the enemy would waste time and effort needed to break all sigils.
だから、私とアリスはとりあえず受けに回った。視点を探すために町を調査している敵を待ち伏せて、これを片っ端から倒そうって。でも、そのうちの一つがケチのつき始めだった。三崎町の公園で山張って待ち受けていた時、どうでもいい第三者が覗き見してやがったのよ。
That's why Alice and I went on the defensive. We figured we could surprise the enemy while they searched for sigils and take them out one by one. But that's when things started to go south. When a certain busybody saw something he shouldn't have at the local park. That was all Alice's fault. She did admit it, but remember whose fault it was, Aoko. It's not Sojiro's. Indeed. It was the ultimate taboo in the world of magecraft. The existence of mages must never. Sorry. Hold on, my throat just kind of gave out on me there. Let me sip of water. There we go. The existence of mages must never be revealed to outsiders.
その後のことはわかるでしょ。
And you know the rest, right?
私は敵との小競り合いをアリスに任せて、それより重要な目撃者狩りに専念せざるを得なくなった。言っとくけど、これはあんたのことだからね。そこで我関せず、みたいな顔しないこと。
I had no choice but to leave our battle with the enemy to Alice, and I devote my time to searching for the eyewitness. And in that case, you haven't realized it, I'm talking about you. So don't give me a soppy look when you're surprised. No sooner had Aoko said that, Sojiro gave her the exact look. Clearly he had been listening, but not necessarily understanding.
ま、いいけどね。宗十郎がそんなだから秘密は漏れなかったんだし。
Whatever. It's just water on the bridge now. Actually, thanks to your cluelessness, our secret is still safe.
で、あんたっていう目撃者を消そうとした私の単独行動は、敵にしても都合のいいものだった。
Anyway, the fact that I went looking for you worked in the enemy's favor.
強敵であるアリスがいないんだから、敵はこれを機会に私を始末しようと、特注品の人形を差し向けた。と思っていたけど、あれはただの嫌がらせね、間違いなく。そうでなきゃ、私そっくりの人形なんて派遣するかっての。
Alice was their biggest threat. With us separated, she could take me out. That's when she sent her special puppet. Or so I thought at the time. It turns out she only sent it to mess with me. Otherwise, why is a puppet that looked just like me? Sojiro nodded, thinking back to the Aoko replica.
あれのことは忘れてちょうだい。
Remember, I'd prefer if you forget about that incident altogether.
まあ、そこから先はあんたもうすうす知ってるでしょ。
After that, you can fill in the blanks.
私とアリスは敵との戦いに専念することになって、毎日のように捜査の手を空振って、決戦の夜を迎えて、今はこうしてる。
Alice and I turned our attention to fighting the enemy, spending most of our nights tracking her fruitlessly, until the fight last night.
大体の経緯はこんなところよ。
And that's the long and short of it. She stared down at her body, as if recalling what happened would help her accept her current state. Under the sheet, magical energy steadily flowed through her partially bandaged body.
青崎、これまでの君たちの話は分かった。
Okay, Ozaki. I think I'm all caught up.
けど、肝心の今の状況はどうなっているんだ？
But what about you? Why are you in this state? Sojo's specific concern was the reason Aoko was lying there. More than anything, he wanted to know what happened to her the night before.
バカね。状況も何も完全に私たちの負けじゃない。
Simple. We lost. What more is there to say? Judging by her tone, she would have raised both hands sarcastically in celebration if she could.
負けた？
You lost?
事実は正しく受け止めなくっちゃね。
Yep. It sucks, but there's no getting around it.
5つの視点が全部壊された時点で勝負はついたの。
The moment all 5 sigils were broken, it was over.
管理地の所有権は宙ぶらりで、明日には東湖の手に渡るでしょう。
The land rights are up in the air right now. Until tomorrow, when Toko claims them.
で、それを阻止したいこっちは、私もアリスもこのありさま。
And in trying to prevent that, Alice and I ended up like this.
もう立場は逆転したから、これから私たちは挑戦者。つまり、はぐれ魔術師ってことよ。
The tables have turned, so from here on now, we'll be the challengers. We are the rogue mages. Which meant that Aoko, Alice, and Sojiro had only a few more days with which to utilize the church's services. Ida Church was not only an arm of the Mages Association, but it was also a brand of the Holy Church that monitored heresy. Aoko and Alice were owners of Masaki City's spiritual lands, but they belonged to neither of these organizations. The only reason the church helped them at all was because they were the land's administrators. Damn, why am I struggling all of a sudden? What the fuck, game? Once those rights were lost, the church would have no reason to provide any further aid.
エイリ神父はコウモリだから私を助けてくれたけど、 ゆいかさんは教会の代行者だから、傷が塞がったなら明日にでも出て行けって言ってくる。
Father Aries helping us because he's neutral in all this, but Yuka is a church executor. Once I'm healed, she'll kick me out.
教会にとっちゃ、魔術師なんてもともと排除すべき商売敵だからね。
The church sees mages as a professional competition. I find that funny. The only reason why I'm not laughing too much about it is because like CL and Noel from Tsukihime, they're executioners and they're relatively strong. So I can see them going toe to toe with the mage. So nothing too crazy.
バカリつかは。ま、泣きつけば力にはなってくれるでしょうけど。
And that stupid Ritsuka. Well, she might help out if I cried. Sojiro understood little of what Aoko was talking about.
そうじゃなくて、青崎、
I didn't mean that, Alzaki.
昨日の夜、何があったんだ？
I meant what actually happened last night. Sojiro pressed her, and Aoko really wished he had not.
見てわからない。惨敗なんてものじゃないわ。
You can't tell by looking? They wiped the floor with me.
喉に食いつかれる。体中好き放題噛まれまくる。挙句に右のももなんてなくなってたそうよ。
My throat was torn to pieces along with the rest of me. My right thigh was basically gone.
ま、アリスのチョコレートのおかげで出血死は免れたけど。
If it wasn't for Alice's chocolate, I would have bled to death. Nice. Nice to know that chocolate heals all wounds. She knocked on the caster on her leg. Aoko spoke casually, but was trying to hide how much she wanted revenge for being humiliated. In contrast, Sojiro felt empty. The little color he had on his face began to fade. Was he repulsed by a terrible situation? Or were his instincts telling him to flee? Regardless, he appeared very human. Well, I mean, he is human, so.
なんでそこで固まる？あ、そっか。
What the hell's wrong with you? Oh, wait. I know.
私を見て吐き出しちゃうぐらいナイーブなんだっけ、宗十郎ってば。大丈夫よ。今はくっついてるから。
You were stupid enough to look at me and throw up, am I right? Well, you can stop worrying. I'm in one piece now. Can we get much higher? Oh.
ゆいかさんは治療専門だし、私だってただやられてたわけじゃないし。復元は青崎の得意分野だから、あれくらい問題ないわ。
Yuka's a pro, and I'm still alive. Regeneration is a specialty of the Ozaki mages, so I'll be fine. That's a specialty? Okay. That makes sense, right? Because Alice's family, her specialty would be like the ploys, right? Makes me wonder what other families' specialty or special ability that they have. She gave him a reassuring look, but its expression was unchanged. Aoko had expected him to worry, but this level of concern made it hard for her even to berate him. Feeling embarrassed, she started talking again.
けど姉切ったら、どうやってあんなのを手なずけたんだろう。金の狼なんて伝説の中にしかいないと思ってた。寝台の神秘であるあいつには、千年クラスの魔術じゃないと太刀打ちできない。かといって、殴り合いでどうにかできる相手じゃないし。
The question is, how on earth did my sister manage to tame a golden wolf? I didn't even think they existed. He's a relic from the age of gods. You need magecraft a millennium in the making just to stand a chance against him. Never mind trying to take him on in a fistfight. As images of the night before entered Aoko's mind, she bit her lip in anguish.
金の狼？
A golden wolf? Conversely, the bizarre phrase snapped Sojiro out of a state of shock.
そう、黄金の人狼。金狼って言った方がいいのかな。
Yeah, a golden wolf. A golden werewolf, to be exact.
狼男って言ってもわからないわよね。人間と狼のいいとこ取りみたいなやつと思えばいいわ。
Then again, you probably never heard of a werewolf. Think part human, part wolf, but only the best parts.
野獣というより魔獣の類よ。
It's a magical beast, as opposed to a wild one.
普通の人狼なら対抗手段はあるんだけど、トウコが連れてるのは黄金の毛並みをした怪物でさ。
There are ways to deal with regular werewolves, but the one with Toko has a golden coat.
あれは原初の人狼の血統で、魔獣を通り越して幻獣の域に達している。
He's a descendant of the first werewolves, a transcendent magical beast. A phantasmal beast.
聖域の相手には、そいつらを上回る神秘。積み重ねた時間とか魔術の奥義じゃないと無効化されるのよ。
To take on such a pure monster, you need a mystic with a longer history or some really secret magecraft. Nothing else would even scratch it or scratch him. So what you're telling me is like, you need the power of God.
魔術は万能だけど、この年月の差だけは覆せない。
Magecrafting can do almost anything, but it can't compete with something so ancient.
ま、人間の魔術師にとっては天敵みたいな自然災害ね。
He's the kind of natural disaster that any human mage dreads fighting. Her words indicated more admiration than hatred. The way she whispered about the wolf. Strangely, made sense to Sojiro.
何？
What? Out with it already.
いや、要するに、青崎たちじゃかなわない相手なんだな。
Oh, I was just thinking how there's something out there that even you and Alice can't defeat.
なんてひどいやつだ。
It must be truly awful.
アリスはお腹が裂かれてた。青崎は傷ついてないところはないぐらいだ。
It tore Alice's stomach. And you, well, you don't have anywhere that wasn't torn apart.
子供なのに。いや、子供だから加減がないのか。
How could a kid, actually, I guess it's because he's a kid, he doesn't know how to hold back. Sojiro's face was ghostly pale as he muttered nervously. Aoko merely nodded in agreement.
ほんと。
Now you get it.
人の体を何だと思っているのかしらね。あのお子さん。なぬ？
What kid has the nerve to do that to someone's... Wait. What did you just say? Aoko raised her head. She looked down as if she'd just seen a ghost.
今、子供って言った？
Did you just say kid?
あんた、なんでそんなことまで知ってるの？
How the hell do you know that?
やっぱりそうなのか。金色の髪なんて2人もいないと思ったんだ。そいつなら一度見かけたことがある。
I realized it was him that day. I never seen someone with such golden hair in my life. It has to be him. Oh fuck, how I think I missed something here, ladies and gentlemen. Is this why we gotta read the archive books, man? Damn, I think I missed something important here. Oh fuck. Oh god. Oh no, not like this. I've been outed.
青崎が口にしたような怪物じゃなかったけど。
Oh, never mind! I know what kid he's talking about! Fuck, he was talking about when... You remember when, like, Kinomi was chasing some kid through the woods? And, like, ended up, like, at some abandoned school, and he's, like, talking about, like, hey, look, there's a kid over there. And Sojiro's like, yeah, that's strange. Dude, he's talking... Wow, okay. Interesting. We were deep in the woods. It didn't look anything like the monster you described, though.
木の実が2人がかりでとっちめようなんて怖いこと言い出してさ。かないっこないから止めたんだよ。
Kinomi wanted to run after him. I told him no way, of course. The kid freaked me out. I knew there was no catching him. His tone was as curious as the things he was trying to articulate. Aoko, however, had more pressing matters. Much more pressing.
見たって、どこで？
You saw him? Where?
学校の旧校舎。あ、そういえば挨拶程度なら話もしたっけ。一度だけアルバイトの時に牛肉50キロを生で届けたことがあって。
At the old school campus. Come to think of it, I might have met him, just once when I was working. I delivered 50 kilos of raw beef and.
この大バカ
Oh my god! You absolute idiot! A strangely satisfying slapping sound rang out. Ignoring her wounds completely, Aoko grabbed a slipper and thrown it at Sojiro's unassuming face as hard as she could. She panted as Sojiro was not completely out of his chair. For a while, neither moved.
なんで怒るんだ、青崎。
And what the hell was that for, Aozaki? The boy asked, unfazed, as he slowly picked himself up. He sat cross-legged as Aoko scolded at him like an enemy.
当たり前じゃない。
What do you think?
なんでそんな怪しいこと黙ってんのよ、あんたは。
Who keeps something like that to themselves? Well, I mean, your secret would have been safe because that's what exactly he was doing, but you and Alice went fucking turbo mode and were trying to kill the poor bastard, so.
言うほどのことでもない。第一、君たちにこんな話をしても怒られるだけじゃないか。
Exactly. Oh shit, hold on. I kind of.
なんでそん
言うほどのことでもない。
There we go.
第一、君たちにこんな話をしても怒られるだけじゃないか。
What? I didn't think it was worth mentioning. Even if I had, the two of you would have gotten mad at me. Aoko knew he was right, so she swallowed her words. She imagined themselves at dinner.
ところで今日、牛肉の山を担いで届けたんだ。一匹丸ごと。いや、あるところにはあるものだね。お金と食欲。
You'll never guess what I did today. I delivered a mountain of beef to an animal. One animal. Rich people live in a different world, am I right? If he had actually said it, Aoko and Alice's response would have been less than cordial.
それはそうだけど、
Okay, you're probably right.
本当に金髪の子供が旧校舎にいたの？
Anyway, was there really a golden-haired child at the school building?
それが青崎の言う人狼かどうか自信はないけど、
I don't know whether he's your werewolf or not.
少なくとも町中の料理店が入れ替わりでお菓子の注文を届けてるのは事実だ。駅前の大デートなんてお得意様だって。
And we've had some strange orders from restaurants in town, especially that Imperial Metropolis near the station.
確かに食事のたびにあいつを外に出してちゃ目立つだろうけど。
That makes sense. There's no way he could eat without drawing lots of attention to himself. She did not want to believe it, but the child had to be the werewolf. Could Toko really have been so careless as to hide him in plain sight? Yeah. It didn't matter at this point. With the werewolf's habitat revealed, Toko's base had been revealed too. To take over the bounded field, she needed an inconspicuous place to store materials. Wasaki's high school's old school building was the perfect place.
つまり、すべての鍵はあんたが隠し持ってたってわけね。
Huh. You were hiding the key to the puzzle this whole time. Yeah. But if he would have told you that, again, you would have never believed him, so.
隠していたんじゃない。
I wasn't hiding anything.
だいたい青崎が裏山の掃除に参加していたらその時に分かったんじゃないか。
If you actually helped with cleaning the back hills, you would have found out yourself.
飛び丸一人に任せず青崎も掃除に出ればよかったんだ。
You shouldn't have left it to Tobimaru. In response to Sojiro's infallible logic, Aoko snapped her fingers. Instead of another slipper missile, she let the faithful white collar express how she felt. Slipper missile? And with the tightening of the collar, Sojiro realized something. Aoko had changed. From the bed, she looked down on him with a commanding glare. Though weak from her injuries, she was sharp as ever. You would be forgiven for forgetting she was ever a patient. She was raring to fight. It went without saying who her rage was directed at.
青崎。
Aoko responded in a vulnerable tone. Perhaps she had been taken by surprise. Now she had an objective. She had been lost in her own little world.
ありがとう、宗十郎。
He expected her to be sarcastic, but this was different. She was genuinely thanking him. He had never known her to be like this and was taken aback.
あのね、とにかく、トウコの居場所が分かったのはあんたのおかげだから、礼ぐらい言っておこうと思ったの。
I'm just showing my appreciation because you helped me figure out where Toko's hideout is.
それがお気に召さなかった？
Satisfied?
いや、お礼を言ってもらえるのはいいことだけど、
Sure, it's nice to be thanked, but
まさか、その体でトウコさんのところに行くつもりか？
are you seriously going after Toko in that condition? His tone was closer to scolding than sympathetic. Aoko simply nodded resolutely.
取られたものは取り返すものよ、宗十郎。
I'm gonna take back what's mine while I still can.
それもすぐに、相手のものになってしまう前にね。ぐずぐずしている暇はないわ。
My sister won't waste a moment, and neither will I. She sounded unshakable. Even so, Sojiro would not back down.
勝ち目がなくてもか。暇はないと言うけど、今はそれ以上に休息が必要だろう。
Even if he had got almost no chance of winning, what you need right now is rest.
その傷だって、今は見れるけど、昨日はひどかったじゃないか。生きていたのが幸運なぐらいだ。
Yesterday you were really messed up. You still are now. You're lucky to be alive.
違うわ。あれは幸運なんかじゃない。そんな玉かっていうのよ、トウコが。
It's not luck. It's Toko.
幸運じゃない。
I don't understand.
そう。トウコはね、私が生き残れる程度の傷にとどめたのよ。今回は見逃してやるから、もう一度やってこいって意味でね。
Toko. She purposely kept me alive to taunt me, to make me try again.
だから私は生きてるんだし、トウコは私が行くのを待ってる。お互いが、お互いの舞台の幕を下ろすために。そうでなければ、ここまで待った意味がないでしょ。
She's waiting for me so we can settle the score. If she wasn't waiting, she had already made her move.
嫌だけど、あんたの言葉を借りるなら、ね。
As much as it pains me to, I'm taking your words to heart. Irritation tainted Aoko's words. From the sight, she looked terrifyingly serious. She was ready to fight to the death. Toko had given her little choice. Sojiro could understand neither sister.
殺すために生かしたっていうのか、トウコさんは。
Toko left you alive so she could kill you later?
青崎はそれが分かっているのに行こうとしている。
And yet you're still going after her.
そうよ。勝負はついたけど、まだ私たちの話は終わっていないもの。
Exactly. She might have won the battle, but she hasn't won the war.
確かに全開してから行った方がいいに決まってる。けど、そうしている間にトウコは岬の深部にたどり着く。そうなったら、私の最後の切り札さえ使えなくなる。
I know I'd have a better chance fully healed, but while I'm recovering, Toko has gotten her claws into Misaki. That means I need to play my trump card.
自分にできることを自分からなくしてしまうのは。
Oh, hold on. I accidentally pressed the button too fast.
そうよ。確かに自分にできることを自分からなくしてしまうのは。
I have to do what I can while I can. Though the pain in her azure eyes was not as deep as the pain of death, it spoke of the regret she could feel as she did not do anything possible while blood still flowed through her veins.
納得いったのなら黙ってて。
Understand now? Good. Then don't try to don't try and stop me.
いい。これは私の戦い。あんたには何の責任も関わりもない。私の人生なの。
Listen to me, Sojiro. You're not responsible for anything. Not my life, and not this fight. Well, fuck, if you were that sentimental before, he wouldn't be in this predicament to begin with, but hey, you know.
座して死を待つなんてまっぴらごめんよ。勝つ気があるなら、いつまでもベッドで寝てるわけにはいかないでしょ。
and I refuse to sit in bed waiting to die. Who would what? Who'd do that if they felt they could win? Sojiro was dumbstruck. Aoko could never let anyone else get involved. Whether that was because she cared or cared less, he cannot tell. What he did understand, though, was that he wanted to stop her. That if he wanted to stop her, he would have to do so with his bare hands, and he knew better than to try that. Even so, he had to ask one last question. If he did not, he would not be able to live him with it. Fuck. He would not be able to live with himself after leaving this room.
わからないな。青崎はなんでそこまでするのか。俺には想像もできない。
I don't get why you need to go through these lengths.
君を縛っているのは義務と強制。どっちなんだろうね。
Is it out of obligation? Or are you just forcing yourself? There was sadness in his eyes. However, Aoko was unmoved by them.
らしくなく難しいこと聞いてくるのね。
It's not like you to ask something so deep.
いいわ。口にしても仕方のないことだけど答えてあげる。
Alright, I'll answer. Even though it won't change anything.
その2つはね、常に私を圧迫してるものだと思う。
To be honest, I'm caught between the two.
けど、勘違いはしないで。義務も強制も、誇りも恐れも、周りから与えられたものじゃない。
Don't get me wrong though. Any sense of obligation, compulsion, pride, or fear comes from me and me alone.
トウコと戦うのをやめたところで、祖父は私を叱らないだろうし、アリスも文句は言わないでしょう。
My grandfather wouldn't be so mad if I stopped fighting Toko. I doubt Alice would complain either.
ここで逃げても、それはそれで誰にとってもどうでもいい話になって終わるだけ。だから他人は関係ない。
If I chose to run, nobody would give it a second thought. That's why this is all on me.
本当に意味なんてないのよ、何にだって。
I know it doesn't make a lot of sense.
でも、私はトウコから逃げたりしない。
But I won't run away from Toko.
これはただの、ここにいるっていう存在証明なの。私は単に、意味がないからこそ、できることは全部やるって決めただけなんだから。
All that matters is proving to myself that I'm alive. I know that my life has no meaning, and that's why I can do anything. With fiery passion, Aoko Ozaki had said her piece. Sojiro was left with a pang in his chest. He did not know why, but her words angered him. Then again, at the same time, her self-confidence had him in wonder. Even though she had said that her life had no meaning, her stubbornness gave meaning to everything.
じゃあ、それが、たとえ。
So, would that still apply if... Without thinking, he started to ask another question. Maybe he wanted to change her mind. Maybe he just wanted to hear her answer.
たとえ他の誰も見ていなかったとしても。
If, say, no one was watching? It came out as a murmur. Indeed, if no one was watching, no one would know that she had fled. This was the situation. This was the situation Aoko was in. Even so, she shot him down instantly.
あら、見てるわよ。少なくとも私自身がね。
Someone's always watching you, even if it's only yourself. Actually, it's always going to be our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. Amen to that. Let's keep going. Her expression brightened, possibly because she had been surprised at having to state the obvious. Sojiro was wide-eyed in shock, but Aoko remained nonchalant.
知らないの、宗十郎。
Haven't you figured it out yet, Sojiro?
生きてく上で一番の観客っていうのはね、他ならぬ自分自身なのよ。だから人生っていうのは油断ならないんじゃない。
Nobody watches you more than you. That's why you have to stay on your toes. Sojiro did not respond to her somewhat exasperated tone, but simply rose to his feet. He looked defeated, which was not like him at all.
宗十郎
すまない。君が素晴らしいことを言っているのはわかるんだ。
I'm sorry. I know you're saying something really incredible.
けど、俺にはわからない。
It's just, I don't understand it. He meekly walked toward the door. As he placed his hand on the doorknob, he paused. For a few seconds, he fought with himself, desperately trying to think of something to say. No words came forth, and so he opened the door, which swung with a strange creak, and he left the room. After watching him go, Aoko turned her gaze towards the window. It was nearly evening. A thin veil of darkness was threatening to descend on the town outside. Ooh, okay, looks like it's nighttime, but there we go, ladies and gentlemen. I think it's gonna be it for today's video, you guys. Hopefully, you guys did enjoy. Uh, nice little exposition there from Aoko, talking about, you know, the fight between her and her sister. Damn, they really pulled that fucking moment from their ass with the kid. I forgot all about. I'm not even joking when I said that. I forgot all about that when I was like, Sojo was like, yeah, there was like some kid with golden hair at this fucking old school ground, and Aoko was like, why the fuck didn't you tell me? He's like, are you serious? You would have fucking killed me if I said anything. But that's gonna be it for today's episode, you guys. I hope you guys did enjoy, and if you did, please like, comment, and subscribe. It is your boy White Album. I will see you guys next time.